Changing scenery at Sparsholt as the green gas bill gets the go-ahead. Marwell's zany zebras head for the auction house to help their real-life relatives.
By the public over the summer, so yes, they will be sorely missed, I think.
And an amazing opening strike from Didcot gives Winchester City an early scare. Good evening, I'm Natasha Hunt and welcome to Winchester News Online. Green gas gets the go-ahead at Sparsholt College as the project gained planning permission last week. It's hoped the facility could power up to 4,000 homes a year with clean gas. This is the second time proposals have come before Winchester City Council. They were rejected last April because of local resident concerns over transport links. Hannah Quinn investigates.
It may be the cow's dinner now, but in a year's time, it could be that grass like this will instead be powering Sparsholt's new green gas mill. In a project between the college and company Ecotricity, the new environmentally friendly technology looks to evolve traditional farming techniques to help fuel Hampshire.
Well, basically, it's like a gigantic dairy farm without the cows. In a dairy farm, you put grass in and you get white stuff in the form of liquid out. In this case, you put grass in, there isn't a cow there. You digest it in much the same way as a cow would do, except that coming out of it is gas, which is then scrubbed, it's compressed and then put into the gas main.
But despite the environmental benefits of the technology, it was a high-pressure planning meeting, as 7 local parish councils objected to the plans. Their main concerns centred around the tractors needed to supply grass to the plant, as they will be travelling on the rural roads.
I'm clearly hugely disappointed with the outcome, and I'm sure there'll be further discussions as we move forward as to how this can perhaps be amended. I think it's a huge industrial unit in the middle of the countryside. I think that's the long and short of it. So the impact on the local villages and traffic is enormous, which is what you heard today from a lot of the parishes.
Local environmentalists, though, see the need to work together with the local residents, but think more needs to be done in the area.
I see it as a step forward, and I don't see this as a battle against people. I see this as helping people to achieve what has to be achieved. Global warming is real. If you don't address it locally somewhere, nothing will ever happen. It's got to happen somewhere. Scotland has done an awful lot. England has done very little. And if you look at England, England's done quite a bit compared to Hampshire. We really do need to catch up.
With hopes that this plant could be producing gas by Christmas 2017, it could be that these cows' Christmas dinners could be rather less substantial. Hannah Quinn, Winchester News Online, Sparsholt.
Nationally, the UK Independence Party has been in turmoil, and the party here in Hampshire has been seeing the effects of that. Our political reporter, Bethany Waring, has been looking into the developments. So Bethany, what's been going on?
Well, Chris Wood was until recently the UKIP group leader at Hampshire County Council. He was elected back in 2013 for Frere and Crofton, but last week he defected from UKIP to the Conservative Party.
Is this linked to what's been going on nationally?
Well, he says that his decision comes after the resignation of Diane James, who was elected the party leader last month. He's just one of a number of councillors who have defected to the Conservative Party since the EU referendum results.
So what will happen to Chris Wood's seat?
At the moment, he's going to stay in place. UKIP have asked for there to be a by-election, but the council have said it's a waste of money, seeing as the seat comes up for re-election next May.
So what's next for the party in Hampshire?
At the moment, they've already solved the problem of the group leader. That goes to Andy Moore, who's the councillor for Eastleigh East.
Okay, brilliant. Thank you for joining us, Bethany. In other news, you might have noticed something a bit unusual over the last few weeks on the streets of Southampton. Lifelike sculptures of zebras have been appearing all over the city. It has been all down to raising the profile of a particular species, the Grevy zebra, which is in danger of becoming extinct. Now the sculptures are going to be auctioned off. Our reporter Sarah Camford went to see them at their final herding.
marvel's zany zebras appeared together as a group for the last time. They were created as a way to raise money for the endangered Grevy's zebra.
We've got all 197 sculptures on display, so we've got the 47 large sculptures, the 103 small ones, and then the 47 miniatures, and they're all on display here for one final time before they go to their new homes. And yeah, it'll be exciting to see who buys them, how much they go for, and actually where they end up. They're much loved by the public over the summer, so yes, they will be sorely missed, I think.
The sculptures were made by artists, schools and youth groups and come in a range of designs. There are only around 2,500 Grevy zebras left in the wild. The money raised at today's auction will be used by Marvel Zoo to save the species.
The Grevy zebra are endangered for a variety of reasons. Historically there's been some pressure from hunting, but increasingly they have suffered threats from land degradation, which makes them rarer than the black rhino in Africa.
Hopefully this event has caused interest in the Grevy zebra's future and excitement about the auction held this Tuesday. This is Sarah Canfield, Winchester News Online, Southampton.
Molly's Den, an antiques market on the outskirts of Winchester, is set to become a thing of the past after the council said it must close before Christmas. Ewan Lyle reports.
Molly's Den has been operating on the industrial estate in Winol for 2 years. It was built in an old shipping container unit, but because owners failed to get planning permission before opening, the much-loved market and cafe now must close.
You've just got to always be mindful of what our policies are, and our enforcement team will go along, and if they think there's a breach of the policy, then an enforcement notice will be issued. If we allow developments like Molly's Den to carry on without being enforced, then we'll be setting a precedent, and then we could actually open all the floodgates for lots of other companies to do that.
Despite its location away from the city centre, Molly's Den has become a favourite among those looking for a second-hand bargain.
Yeah, it's an absolutely fantastic place, and such a huge place to shop around, and I was really shocked.
Come here a couple of times a month or something, have a look around. So yeah, disappointed. But it'll be a shame when it closes. I don't know quite when it's closing, but it'll be a shame.
Look, I'm holding Molly's Den close to my heart. It's one of the places I like best. And if something's really good, it ought to be kept. It caters for a lot of the talent in Winchester and the surroundings too. The people make things, paint things, and have somewhere to show it.
The council wants small businesses to trade inside the city centre and not in out-of-town locations, something not everybody agrees with.
I don't think that they'll get a place in the city centre because the rates will be too much and the cost will be too much. A lot of the local businesses actually come here for their lunch. They enjoy using the restaurant. It's rated one of the best restaurants in Winchester. Here it's a good way to actually grow an acorn, to actually build a business up. They're actually nullifying any business as it starts in its infanthood.
The customers aren't happy, the traders aren't happy, but a November closing date has been finalised for Molly's Den. And how will other businesses outside of the city centre fit into the council's grand vision? Ewan Lyle, Winchester News Online.
Last year there were more claims for pothole damage in Hampshire than anywhere else in the country. Over £100,000 have been paid out by the county council in compensation to drivers. Figures from the RAC show that almost 2,000 successful claims were made. With Save the Students saying students spend less than £30 a week on their food shop, the recent rise in inflation could mean more stress on students' pockets. Former retail bosses are suggesting that a drop in the pound could see food prices rise.
We expect to see some price increase in the future. We will obviously try to avoid passing on to students and staff. We hope that normally try and maintain our prices throughout the year, and we would see that as being the way forward.
Graduation week is underway in Winchester. As well as being an important event for the students, the celebration has a huge impact on local businesses. Dan Anderson has more.
Though one of the smaller universities, Winchester certainly suits up for graduation, and hats off to the students. But preparations are well underway elsewhere across the city as businesses brace for a dramatic spike in trade.
When we budgeted, we always budgeted extra on the graduations week because, as I said, trading will improve dramatically from Tuesday to Friday. So we are looking at least to 5k to 8k more than what normal trading will be.
We have a very large food, drink and beverage industry, about 120 bars in the city. The Business Improvement District works with all of them, and clearly graduation now with I think 8 ceremonies, bringing in 1,000 people a ceremony is a big event for the city.
It's been a big day for these graduates and the whole city is buzzing. But come next week, it's business as usual. I'm Dan Anderson, Winchester News Online, Winchester.
It's been the gaming craze of the last few months, but are people fully aware of the potential dangers that come with playing Pokemon Go? Technology correspondent Matt Shepherd reports.
Gotta catch them all is the aim of the game. But why has Pokemon Go taken over so many young people's lives?
Well, I think it's a lot to do with nostalgia. I mean, a lot of people in my society all grew up with Pokemon, and I did myself, so I think mainly it's due to that, and also it's just quite a game you can play anywhere, and you can play with a lot of your mates. I think people just want to keep playing it, and as you play more and more, you want to get better and better and better. Unless it gets updated, I don't think it will continue at the same hype it is right now.
The game took 19 days to achieve 50 million worldwide downloads. 63% admitted they were on their phones while crossing the roads, whilst 48% have been reported being involved in a near miss or accident whilst being on their phones on Britain's roads and railways, with 78% of Pokemon Go players being aged between 18 and 34.
I mean, I've seen people going towards playing it. That was quite fun.
Kids get so carried away that they wander out in front of traffic or go somewhere they're not supposed to.
I've nearly been hit when I was sat in a car park because those guys driving around playing it, not paying attention.
So it's evident that Pokemon Go has many pros, but at the same time it has many cons, though the message is still very clear: stay safe when on the roads. Matt Shepherd, Winchester News Online.
More people than ever are wanting to get fit. Last year alone, gym membership increased by nearly 50%, but finding the time and money to join can be difficult. Our reporter, Jennifer Correa-Marchbank, looks at how students can keep active without spending too much money.
Going to the gym can be easy for some but not financially accessible for everyone. A study by The Guardian found that some people managed to stay fit without spending any money at all, whilst others were forking out as much as £1,000 on simple juice retreats and using the cost of going to the gym to keep them motivated.
At the start of the academic year, we launched a brand new scheme. It's called the Get Active scheme. Its whole purpose is to increase participation and engagement here on campus. With it, we offer complimentary sports sessions on a weekly basis. So it's just like a class timetable, but based on sport. And again, it's completely free. You don't need to be a gym member or anything to enjoy it.
We also spoke to some students to find out whether they use their money on going to the gym or if they have found a cheaper way that works for them.
I'm not spending any money on the gym because I'm part of the Netball Society.
I don't really go on to the gym because I can't really afford it, but I go on lots of runs with my friends.
I usually go to the gym. It only costs me like £35 a month, which is quite easy for me to keep up with.
Walking saves a lot of money. It's great.
Yeah, I walk as well, but I do go to the gym in Portsmouth because I live there.
There are still many ways for students to stay fit without spending any money at all. This is Jennifer Correa-Marchbank, health correspondent, Winchester News Online.
Football now, and Winchester City welcomed Didcot Town to the Denplan Stadium this weekend. They look to make it 3 league wins in a row. Sam Waddington reports.
Having lost 4-0 earlier this season to the same opposition, the home side were looking for a better result this time around. But an unbelievable free kick in the first 10 minutes from Georgie Mulvaney gave Didcot the lead. Whether he meant it or not, only he will know. Then, 3 minutes before the break, the hosts equalised, thanks to top scorer Howard Neighbour, finishing off a flowing move. Soon after, the home side turned the tables, with Andy Jenkinson's first league goal of the season, making it 2-1. As the second half wore on, the citizens were looking increasingly dominant as they continued to pepper the opponent's goal. And Craig Feeney sealed the win for Winchester 4 minutes before full time.
Although we let in an early goal, which was disappointing for us, I thought our response to that was good. The timing of scoring the goal just before half time helped. And then I thought really, second half that we bossed it a little bit. Goalkeepers made little to no saves on our behalf, and we always looked a threat. So now I was really pleased. 3 points in the bank, which is always nice, and just means we can look forward to Tuesday.
Next up for Winchester is a trip to Shortwood United, where they'll be hoping to continue their run of good form. Sam Waddington, Winchester News Online.
Since it began in 2009, the Winchester Film Festival has held movie screenings not in cinemas but in multiple locations throughout the city. This year, one of the films was shown in an old recycling depot. Entertainment reporter Shahat Kaura went to find out more.
A fire show is one of the last things you'd expect when you go to watch a film, but Winchester Film Festival prides itself on pairing the unexpected with cinematic classics. Each venue reflects a part of the film which provides a unique experience for the audience.
So it's the idea of a sort of extended cinema, of sort of having people in a sort of location where the film has some sort of resonance with their surroundings and people watch the film in a different way, I think. I suppose we were a bit inspired by the Hat Fair. So the Hat Fair takes place in different parts of Winchester and uses spaces that people don't necessarily associate with performance.
With sold-out screenings over the first weekend, each bringing their chosen film to life, the Saturday screening of Silent Sonata immersed the audience into the life of the circus.
I always stand as people go out and sort of thank them for coming and things, but everybody who went out was just completely stunned, I mean, they were really powerfully moved by the film, and that's great. But actually, at the end of the day, if you get 40 or 50 people in a room and they have a kind of an experience which they found quite moving, then that's, job done as far as I'm concerned.
The film festival is a great opportunity to watch films you may have seen before in a location you may not expect. With the event continuing on to this week, you still have time to experience the festival. Chahat Kaldra, Winchester News Online.
That's all from us today. Tune in next week for more local news from Winchester and the surrounding areas. Goodbye.